based upon the current climate, there's obviously a lot of dynamics happening at once. And the way that the marketers are looking to address this, first and foremost, is by working with partners that offer them more flexibility than they have in the past. I think if you look at a variety of brands, businesses, no matter what vertical, they're impacted in some way by the pandemic. They're impacted in some way by how they think about the messaging and how they're reaching consumers. And so over the last 3.5 months, we've been trying to help our clients really understand what is the best way to reach consumers, even as their behaviors are changing with the at-home economy. So, for them and for us, what we're really trying to do is guide them in the best way we can through data and insights to help them understand what are the best places to be reaching consumers as things are changing. We're trying to help them understand what are ways in which messaging can and should be married to the environments where they're reaching consumers. The dynamic and the change is definitely challenging, but I think that we're doing a great job in helping our clients navigate through this tumultuous time. The video upfront this year has absolutely changed from a timing perspective. And again, that's due to the uncertainty of programming. It's due to the uncertainty of when certain sports leagues will return. And there's a lot of true business challenges for brands. But the real change shouldn't be about just the timing of the upfront. It should be about how and why the upfront changes to really better the industry. And so, as we've seen, the pandemic is playing a role, but it should be that catalyst for this transformational change that, brings us from yesterday's upfront to tomorrow's upfront. And, what we're hearing from clients is that they want more flexibility. That's flexibility within day parts, within the different ways in which they're displaying advertising in different formats, cancellation options, commitments. We're also seeing an increased appetite for video to be purchased programmatically with full decision capabilities. And that's an area that we think and we hope we'll see a big push this year. Some clients are also dramatically thinking about moving budgets from some of the tried and true places in linear environments and moving into more, newer places in OTT and CTV. In just trying to mimic the way in which consumers are changing their behaviors. And, really lastly, we're hearing marketers say that the upfront needs to be more like digital. And that's in terms of, purchasing on behavioral segments versus broad demographics. And that's in terms of trying to maybe perhaps adopt some of the more flexible cancellation terms that digital allows for. So there's a lot of things being discussed at the moment, but the truth is that we hope that this will be the evolution and really this transformational change to move from, again, what was the upfront many years ago to what it can be and should be based upon the things that every marketer is looking for and what they need.
Sal, you touched on the opportunity around programmatic TV. Could you expand a little bit about that? What that means, the platforms that you need to be working with, perhaps, and the inventory that you hope will be available from publishers programmatically?
Sure. Well, I think first I would say it's not just about programmatic TV, it's about programmatic video. The ability to connect with consumers through video, whether that is a connected television, an over-the-top service, a full episode player. The technology is there. The question is, will the business decisions be made whereby marketers can decide what impressions they want to buy versus what impressions they want to pass on? And if we can get there in this year's upfront, that would be a tremendous push forward in terms of how marketers are looking to reach consumers. Well, I think there's no question that consumers have chosen that they want to select their programs and they want more video on demand. And I think that's really fueled the growth and probably some of the acquisitions made in this space related to Avadh services. I think that the real benefit of Avadh is obviously the fact that we go back to a great exchange for free content in return for advertising. And we know that we've seen, tremendous growth in SVOD services over the course of the last decade. But there is still room in the marketplace for consumers to be able to have a free experience, to watch great content, and to be able to have marketers advertise to them in a very personalized and customized way. So I think AVOD is going to be a tremendous opportunity, and currently is one for advertisers today. And as we see more and more of these platforms launching and coming forward, it will certainly be an area that advertisers are looking at.
So, Sal, I wanted to ask you about this notion of trust and partnership, which is sort of, you have great partnerships with your clients naturally and with your media partners, but what does trust mean? Maybe what does it mean now?
Sure. Trust is more important now than it ever has been. And, by definition, a partnership, a trusted partnership, is really an arrangement of two parties where you share in the success and you share in the losses together in whatever endeavor you're embarking on. For us, from a partnership perspective, trust has a great amount to do with how we think about developing partnerships. And in order for a partnership to work, it has to be built on that foundation of trust and respect. Trust is something that obviously is gained over time, but respect is something that you can quickly put inside of a partnership. Beyond that, from a partnership perspective, we always believe it has to be mutually beneficial. You have to be very much aligned on the goals and really the priorities for each side of that partnership. And for us, the last piece, I think, in terms of trusted partnership, it's about value over price. And, what we believe there is that you can obviously offer commercial relief, and that's something that we expect in any partnership. But it's not only that, it's about how value comes in many forms. And for us, that's unique data, that's custom research, that is access to data, innovation. Those are the elements that really built the trusted partnership. And for us, it's an area that we dive very deeply into when we're building partnerships on behalf of our clients.